It's me, Evan. You know, the welcome back or something. You understand what's going on. You get it. Okay. There we go. All right. Oh, hey. F-106. Rip-off speed. Okay. I wonder if that was really a problem. Restriction of the combined use of munitions with laser and TV seekers. Oh. I wonder why that was even a restriction. Anyway. 30mm belts. Okay, that's all. Nothing important. Let's check on our simulator brackets. 13.3, 14.3. 12, 13. 10, 7, 11, 7. That could be pretty good. We might fly MiG-25 today. Super cool jet, by the way. Oh, so good. Look at this thing. Oh, big ol' engines. You want a TV seeker? Well, hold on. Let me grab one. I suppose I could just put the 27K in here, right? Oh, is it in that? Never mind, not in that slot. Yeah, here, I'll show you a TV seeker. So, this is the Su-24. It's got a couple of different weapon options here. So this here is a laser-guided missile. It's got 3 different ones that it can use. The KH-25ML, the S-25LD, which is actually a laser-guided variant of a dumbfire rocket, which actually is not present here. Where did it go? Yeah, these. As you can see, they're quite large, but the TV, or not the TV, the laser-guided version, a bit slimmer on the warhead side of things. And then if we look over here, we can see the TV-guided missiles. This one is the KH-59M, but it's also known as the King Bolt. This is a very long-range anti-ship TV-guided missile. It's got a little camera. There you go. You can kind of see the camera. So there's the little camera, and it can use really basic image processing to detect when the frame has shifted, and then it tries to track that way. Or they'll try and follow like a contrast line on the target. At least that's how it works in real life. In game, it just kind of magically locks onto things. Hello, Patrick. Yeah, here we've got another one. You can see the TV sensor in there. Smaller, sort of shorter range missile, but it's faster. And then there's also TV-guided bombs as well as laser-guided. So this one, little laser sensor there. And then the TV-guided one has this big TV camera sensor. And of course, the smaller version of that is here, the Cab 500. And then, of course, there's a laser-guided version of that, too. Anyway, we're probably going to play the MiG-25. Let's see here. Oh, that's a pretty small map. That might be good. Let's see. One French pilot. Yeah, let's try that one. Any tips for War Thunder and the American Tech Tree? I kind of just started. if you're still like, if you mean you just started, as in like you're just starting on the tree, then general tips would be abuse the fact that most of the mid tier have really good engine power. So generally, you want to go for more vertical maneuvering, because you have the engine power to be able to like stand on your engines a lot more than the enemy. German planes are really good at climbing and diving, but they're not good at energy retention in vertical turns. So rely on that. You can beat them in a flat rate, but it's less consistent. So that's my general advice for American planes. If you're just starting, you're probably flying a biplane or a really light monoplane, so it won't really make too much of a difference. There's not a ton of competitive advantages between those ones other than armament. So, I mean, 50 cals are incredible, so just never feel bad about you having 50 cals, though. They're pretty great, especially because they shoot pretty flat. But yeah, I actually have sort of neglected to fill out my American air tree. I've mostly been doing the Russian air tree just because I find the higher tier Russian vehicles to be more interesting. But yeah. Yes, indeed. Absolute beautiful plane. Well, yeah. And actually, it's not the Foxhound, it's the Foxbat. At least I think it is. Hold on, let me double check, make sure I'm not gaslighting myself here. Yeah, it's Foxbat. Yeah, okay. The Foxhound, I think, is the MiG-31. I wish we had the MiG-31. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, alas, we'll just have to make do. Oh no. There we go. Yeah. Foxhound is got way better radar, better missiles, and it's a bit slower overall, but better engine reliability, better fuel consumption apparently, and of course a way better radar. Excuse me. Yeah, rear visibility on this plane is non-existent, as you can probably guess. But visibility is probably not really that important anyway in this case, so. Switch on our Erst here as we climb. I think I'm going to climb to about 3,000 meters. Let's see here. I think it's just so that people can sort of identify who's the most active members in a chat for the creator, so they can see like who's engaging with it the most. But yeah, it is a bit of an odd thing for them to add. I guess if they want more people streaming, I suppose it's a good feature, because it's not like terrible to be able to know like who's actually there and paying attention. Alright, we're getting radar pings from that direction roughly. Oh, guess what we just found? A lot of ground clutter, but hello, anyone there? Okay, we're not detecting them. Let's get down a little lower. Is the P51C good? All the P51s are good, except for maybe like the H, because it has a really high battle rating. But by and large, P51s are very good. Mostly just because of engine power. In the case of the C, it doesn't have the Merlin engine like the later ones do. So, yeah. Oh, howdy. I'm live streaming some War Thunder right now. Yeah, don't worry, that voice isn't live streaming though. Well, mine is, but yours isn't. I wish I could know whether that was ground or air unit. I think it was a ground unit. I've been alright. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm in sim. Actually flying the MiG-25. Okay. Does the twin fuselage count as a P-51? The F-82 flies similar, but you can carry a lot more 50 cals, so that's definitely a fun pickup. It turns a lot slower. It's a bit more brickish, but the engine power is really good since you've got two engines. Yeah. Sorry, someone was asking me about the P-51, the twin fuselage P-51. The F-82. Huh? Yeah, no, it's... Yeah. Shoot. It was shot down by a Phantom in my MiG-25. I probably should have not been so low altitude, to be honest, but the other problem is just that the radar warning receiver on this thing is really bad. Playing... I mean... On controller? I mean, yeah, you could probably play some on controller. I don't see why not. The keybinds would be harder, but in general, like the flight controls actually transfer pretty well, I've heard, so. Let's see here. Keep climbing. McDonnell Douglas Phantom II Supersonic All-Weather Fighter Bomber, mostly bomber. I would actually disagree. Phantom is actually really good for air-to-air unless you're in a turning fight with something that is lighter than you. But if you're using it as a beyond visual range missile platform, it's actually quite good as a fighter. I mean, the Sparrow as a missile is... I mean, it's not the best, but it's certainly no joke. was that? Yeah. It's basically like a Chinese AMRAAM. I think it's slightly more efficient. Anyway. A good fighter while being a brick with wings is incredible. Well, yeah, that's a lot of jet-powered fighters, though. They rely very heavily on their engine power to keep them flying in a, reasonable way. Yeah, I'm not going to fly low again. I'm just going to fly higher and faster. Let's see, where was that guy? Switch that to 60. Mach 1.4. We could probably make a reasonable turn at this speed. Where was that guy? Nowhere to be seen. I don't think this guy realizes how fast I'm going. Like, bro, you are not gonna catch me. It's very hard to get kills with this vehicle, but it's also, once you get up high and fast, it's also very hard to kill this vehicle. So, just one of those things. Throttle down a little bit, see if I can detect him again. Turn on the Erst. Yeah, basically, I am doing that. Flying in an unreasonable way in this vehicle would entail flying very low, in low altitude. There he goes again. Well, slowed down too much. Maybe I should fly something low. Yeah, the problem is with a lot of this is that you just, if you fly high, you don't end up finding anyone. Which makes the MiG-25 not actually very good for sim at all. It makes it much better for realistic, though. This thing is much better equipped for simulator. Slightly less. I mean, actually, the radar is worse in a lot of ways, but the plane itself is far more agile. So, and it has a gun, so you can actually, mix it with enemy fighters at close range, which is nice. Alright, our gear are up, okay. Bless you. Okay, there's a... Let's see here. There we go. Let's... Yeah, stupid track IR being weird. Okay, now we got our flaps down. Got our guy locked. Fox 2. What's this guy think he's doing? Go get a missile. Kill him. Boink. Alright. We got that guy. And where was that other guy? swear I saw another plane. Turn off the lights in my room. There we go. Let's see here. Alright. Turn. Fly nice and low over the water here. Okay, where is this guy? Get our wings swept all the way back. Optimize for speed performance. See our little wing sweep gauge there. Is that you username? I'm doing well. Streaming a little bit of warthunder, but well, on my YouTube. Don't worry, I'm not streaming your guys' voice or anything. Just, you know, because I haven't done it in a while, and it's like, whatever. May as well see. I tried to do some MiG-25 sim, but that didn't really work out very well because, well, frankly, yeah. Well, not necessarily the BR. But the problem is actually more along the lines of just the radar is bad and the flight performance is not incredible at low altitude, so you run into a lot of issues. Well, no, it's not like, if people were flying at altitude, I'd be doing just fine, but nobody flies at altitude, so it's just, it doesn't look down through ground clutter very well, and I don't believe that, I don't think DCS has very good ground clutter, well, yeah, it depends on the module. Depends on who made the module, right? And yeah, like, you know, when it comes to the F4, it beats anything warthunder can do. But when it comes to like, yeah, basically like I've heard basically that most of the radars are just terrible. Not like terrible to use, but like they're not well modeled at all. Created out of magic sauce. Wow. Useful. Not at all like real life. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, in War Thunder, you know, you can actually the big problem with the Phoenix in War Thunder is that it just people know how to notch and they do it a lot. And they drop chaff, and the Phoenix doesn't have angle gating. To my understanding, countermeasures are also really screwy in DCS. Okay. It may as well be. I see. No, I'm playing War Thunder. I'm playing MiG-23, MiG-25 right now, but I'm gonna probably switch to something else in a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, the boosters are good. Although it's much more important. There's a lot of other way more important modules than the boosters, so. Your G-suit and the engines. Engines and engine improvements and G-suit are by far the most important. Well, it's not. It gets slow when you start turning. That's the problem. Is that especially compared to the other flankers, you really notice it a lot. It's very slow once you start maneuvering. It's the bigger wings, but especially the weight. The weight is a lot more. This guy even go? Oh, okay. No, that they used to have VTOL carriers, but they don't. They don't. In fact, the Kuznetsov used to be one of those VTOL carriers, so they used to have Yak 38s on them. Yeah. They had two. They were called aircraft. They called them aircraft carrying cruisers, and they had a contingent of Yak 38s, which is what the Yak 38 was built for naval operations. And they operated them for a long time, and then when they wanted to upgrade their air wing, they needed a new carrier. They had a lot of plans in the works. They had a project called Oriole that would have, if they had gone through with it, I mean, if they had the money to go through with it, would have had navalized MiG-23s and Su-24s, which would have been, well, it's got swing wings, it's got plenty of lift. You just give it a hook, and you make sure that your catapult's really good. Yeah, well, that too. But the landing gear on the Su-24 is also already pretty robust. Anyway, let's see here. So, yeah, but Project Oriole was way too expensive. So instead, they decided to go with a ramp carrier, because it's much cheaper than trying to develop, catapults that they'd never used before or anything like that. It would let the ship be a lot smaller, and they eventually decided to actually strip down and rebuild one of the, I think they were Moscovas, is what the class was called. Strip down one of the VTOL carriers, and they turned that into what is now the Kuznetsov. No, it's on an older hull. They removed the superstructure. They removed the missile launchers that were on the front deck, and they converted it into a into a flanker carrier. I mean, it would be like if they took like an Essex and flew F-14s off of it. It's like that kind of level of kind of crazy. It's like if they took one of the British jump jet carriers and then flew F-14 off of it. Or actually no, it'd be like if they flew F-15 off of it. If I had to sort of liken it to something, if they added a ramp to it and then just flew heavy fighters off of it. Would have been interesting. I know that the Navy was thinking about F-15 for naval ops, but obviously it's just expensive, so. Yeah. That's kind of funny. Right, yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, right. Also, there's the Navy's pride to consider. In fact, that's the main reason why, why we're not running. Like, the F-4 was definitely an exception when it came to carrier versus land-based aviation. And even then, they demanded their own versions and their own missiles. And the Air Force was the same way about it. Like, they wanted their Phantoms fitted for AIM-4s only, because it was the Air Force missile. Well, yeah. Hmm. The F3, yeah. It's basically like a... It's actually kind of hilarious that the F3 turned into the F4, considering how absolutely weird. Well, no, I have both. I have, yeah. I mean, I've got the F3, and it, like, you can tell if you know, but if you, yeah, some latent F4, but it's like, it's so weird that like, if you didn't know the connection, you wouldn't make it. Yeah, I mean, like, the wing is a great example. Like, look at how thick the core of the wing on the F3 is. Versus, like, the F4. Crazy different. And the upturned wingtips and stuff. Like, the F4 is just... You can, like, if you know, then you can make the connection, but there's just such a vast difference in the two. In terms of... Even, like, the way that the tail is laid out. No. I don't think so. I'm going to be honest. I think that very little of the tail is the same. I'm switching back between the two. I mean, any low-mounted, any plane with engines mounted underneath the fuselage is going to be like that in a little bit. But I think like, what's a good example of this? I mean, like, the wing of the F3 reminds me of the F4, F4D, sorry, the Skyray a lot. Like, just in the way that, like, the wing is shaped and the, like, thickness of the wing reminds me a lot of the F4D. Wow. That's good. It's fair. It's a reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to want. Tucano. Hmm. No. Yeah. I mean, it's often when I open War Thunder a lot, I'll open War Thunder and they'll be like, "Did I actually want to play War Thunder?" And then I'm like, "Wait, no, I didn't want to play War Thunder really." And then I just close it because it's just kind of like the default option in a lot of ways. Hmm. I basically do that every week because I just don't have time to play a lot with school. Yeah. Whoa, 7 credits? Wow. 17? Oh my gosh, dude. That's your schedule's crazy full. Wow. You sure you're not still a War Thunder player? Damn. Hmm. Holy cow. Yeah, she also sounds crazy, so. Anyway. Um. No red flags at all. Anyway. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, who here is playing SU-33 Sim? Oh my gosh, don't drag him back in. uh, okay, okay, okay. You're just trying to, make sure it doesn't have such an impact on you. Okay. All right, sounds good. Hmm. Well, I've noticed you playing a lot, so. Mm-hmm. Wow. I remember you talking about that, yeah. What? I should probably stop streaming on YouTube before I say something confusing. No, it's fine. It's I don't actually have your guys' voice streaming. So if I was gonna say something, then I thought about it, and I'm like, without context from other people, that would sound really weird. Well, first I need to stop streaming on YouTube. Bye, people on YouTube. Yeah, there's just some people I know.